I was gonna take it over again like I did last
every
time.
episode.
No, you already did
Start
it.
it
It's
off.
too late. Supon, go.
Exactly. Alright guys, thanks for joining us for another installment of the Trailer Take. I am joined, as always, with my friend Josh and Noah.
Yo.
How you guys doing today?
Doing pretty good. I
Doing
mean,
well.
day was not so great, but it's gotten a lot better now that y'all are here.
You've had your caffeine.
Yeah.
Caffeine
You're a
addiction.
diva. You can't work without the soda. You're a diva.
Gotta have it.
That'll be another topic for another episode.
That's for
We all
another
Well, we're
roast
talking
me
about-
about my caffeine addiction.
Yeah, well,
We
we
can talk
are
about it now.
talking about the fast food. I might be able to get some sucker punches in. We'll have to find out.
That's
I'll be the punching bag tonight. I
McDonald's serves coffee.
It's true.
guess. They do. It's not great. They do.
Well, they do.
Yeah.
I never have it.
I got it one time. It was gross.
Frozen frappuccinos.
I mean, the frappuccinos aren't bad, but
Frappuccinos are always
there's like
delicious.
no coffee in it. Just all like sugar and
exactly.
So
That's the problem.
this brings me to my point here. I've noticed a lot of people have been buying more fast food, and because it's considered essential, they're all open right now. And a lot of the
Yeah.
mom and pop restaurants, a lot of the places without drive-throughs have been having to go through a lot of hassle here.
Mhm.
And I think it's been pretty unhealthy for us. What do you guys think?
It's definitely unhealthy, and the problem is it's cheaper than getting real fucking non-processed food.
Yeah,
You
like
can get 2 for $3 McDoubles at McDonald's.
See, that's the thing though. If you purposefully go there trying to get like the best deals, like yeah, you'll walk away paying like $4 or $5 a person, maybe like 6 or 7 if you're getting like a whole bunch of food. But yeah, but you can do that. But if you're not in the know about like the best deals, and you're like, oh, I just want like a couple Whoppers, dude. Oh, you'll end up paying like $10, $15. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy. So I think that when you're doing it like that, you're getting worse food for more money, and it's unhealthy.
Yeah, but you can get worse food for far less money.
That's true.
That's always the option, which
Mhm.
is an issue. It's
Yeah.
contributing to the obesity issue.
yeah, like going out, like
America.
shopping, like getting your own ingredients, making your own food.
Mhm.
It can be expensive, and also I think a lot of people are just lazy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's way easier to drive to Wendy's, get 4 for $4.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Like with this whole COVID thing, I realized that like most of a lot of the good restaurants are kind of struggling right now because of this.
Mm.
But as far as just like cooking at home, like especially now, you're more likely now than ever to have somebody who's like free to cook at home right now.
Yeah, but the
So-
skill itself is a dying art.
That's true. A lot of people are some of the worst cooks I've ever seen.
It's true.
Like,
I'll admit, I can't cook. Can't cook for shit.
Why don't you learn?
can we bring back home
Can you
ec
teach
for
me?
that?
I can teach you.
How much will lessons cost?
$50 a minute.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's pretty
Mr.
good. dude.
Ramsey. I think Gordon Ramsay would charge less than that.
Nah, he wouldn't.
No, he charged way more.
He does all the
Couple
money in the world.
Couple $100 an hour for Gordon.
He has all the money in the world. How do you think that happened?
Okay. You got me there.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised when COVID that I figured more people learned to cook, but the opposite happened is that people just got lazier and went to fucking Wendy's and got their 4-for-4s instead of cooking.
Yeah, that's
Guilty of it too.
That's
Exactly.
a shame. It's weird. Like I would have thought also that there would have been more of that, but
So close to greatness.
dude,
The fast food giant taking over.
it's more powerful now than it's ever been.
It's true.
I don't think
It's a huge industry.
yeah, they're booming right now, and they're booming off of like everyone's suffering, kind of.
Yeah, well,
bummer.
it's what you do.
And you know what? If this was like the 1990s, it's not like Obama there. I kept saying if. It was like the 1990s. Yeah, if it was like the 1990s and it was like that quality of food, I wouldn't even be so mad about it.
Mhm.
But like right now, like I don't even like want to know what a McDonald's chicken nugget actually is. It's like
It's actually not that bad.
they don't call it chicken though.
It
They don't.
Used to be,
Why don't
used to
they
be
call it
worse.
chicken? What is it?
It's most of the chicken. It's not just chicken breast.
You guys keep talking about. I'm gonna look up what is in McDonald's.
You go to your ingredients list. I'm pretty sure they use as much of the whole chicken they possibly can.
I'm sure they
They
do.
grind it up into like a paste,
Yeah,
shape it,
I
bread
think
it.
you're right. I think I
fry
remember
it.
that actually. I think you're right.
We get white boneless chicken,
Yeah.
water,
Okay.
vegetable oil, enriched flour,
Soybean oil, hydrogenated soybean oil.
yellow flour, vegetable starch.
See, that doesn't sound that bad, but if you go scroll back up a little bit, you see that picture on the right? That looks gross. You see that?
That one, yeah, that's
That's disgusting.
the nugget paste.
Dude,
Go
that's...
ahead and
They-
save that. I'll put it up.
Oh my
It's
god.
nugget paste.
Yeah, they make a paste out of those ingredients, and then they make
They shape it.
the shapes that like McDonald's chicken. They all like have like a four
Bone
shapes.
boot ball.
That's kind of crazy to think about because when you have a chicken nugget, you're actually having like the chicken of like a couple hundred different chickens.
Yeah, it's disgusting, but unfortunately they do taste good, which is the problem.
Yeah.
It's because you end up ingesting this really unhealthy meat paste
They've
nugget.
made it so cheap that
And it's so cheap.
They finally started to sacrifice flavor too, because this whole time they were sacrificing health, but like keeping flavor and cheapness.
Mm.
But like now it's dude, like Taco Bell sucks now.
Yeah, they've gone downhill a little bit.
They have like nothing.
Yeah.
They have like nothing now.
They got rid of the quesarito.
Dude, I was pissed when they got rid of the green onions. Didn't that fucking make every single item? Yeah, nachos, couple green
Yeah.
onions on there. Delicious, dude.
I love green onions.
Yeah, and you're right. They got rid of the quesadilla with the taco.
No,
got-
it's the burrito, but instead of a tortilla on the outside, it's a quesadilla.
I think they got rid of. I think they got rid of the nachos too. They got rid of everything.
Yeah, they did.
Do you think it was like the toss?
Yeah, they said for COVID,
No,
cut costs.
Oh,
you know.
COVID, cut toss. COVID's just
Unfortunately.
the excuse now. For
Yeah,
all this.
COVID's the excuse for everything.
Pretty much.
Like seriously, I bet you listening right now, there's something that like you're supposed to be doing, but you've said like, COVID, I'll wait till this is over because we think it's gonna be over. Mm,
We'll see. But
so that one.
I mean,
In-N-Out Burger has not changed at all.
Oh, In-N-Out Burger is one of like
Not even
the-
a fucking little bit.
dude. It's $5 for the thing, for the meal, the burger, the fries, the drink.
Yeah, they give me the
Upgrade.
shits though.
Upgrade that, you get the shake.
Yeah, and then you get the shits.
I don't know.
I get the
It's like-
shits.
yeah.
I don't know about
I
you
feel
guys.
like all these fast food restaurants have been running through all this, and like dine-in restaurants, like mom and pop shops.
Yeah.
They've been like open and closed
Yeah.
with like now the second wave of COVID,
Uh-huh.
and now they're at least in California they can be open, but they need an outside seating area. But the issue is not every restaurant has like room for that.
That's true.
To be fair though, Josh, like you said In-N-Out gives you the shits.
It
Let me
does.
ask you a question, personal question. How many
Okay.
times have you shit today?
3.
Okay, only 3.
Yeah.
Only 3.
Yeah,
Sure.
but I've had Mexican food today, which
It's
is
just
not
been-
good for the stomach.
Yeah, it's just been like
But
around
you-
my presence this half of the day.
I know.
I was thinking like you were like a master shitter or something. I was like,
Well, I do shit a lot. I know it's TMI.
I do shit a lot.
I have a faster
Josh, 2020.
metabolism. I digest food, it goes right out really quickly.
I will say, I was sitting with you. You had finished your Mexican food somehow really quick. Like I was
really hungry.
I was eating a little bit on the slow
Had a couple
side.
tacos.
He's a fast
And
eater.
I'm still eating, and we got it like the same time. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna go take a shit. I'm like, you just took a shit like 30 minutes ago.
No.
And you say that the Mexican food already digested.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think that's possible.
It's possible. Anyway, what was I going to say? Well, anyway, so yeah, I had Mexican food, which my stomach doesn't really agree with, but I do it anyway because it tastes good.
It tastes so good.
It's too good to pass up.
Yeah.
But you hold on. But you'd think that In-N-Out Burger would be more tame than Mexican.
Mhm.
It's just burger and cheese. But no,
Well,
it gives me the shits.
I saw we both like the spice though. We had no salsa left over. at
That's
the
true.
end.
I did ingest all the salsa.
Yeah, we both
That'll
got all
do
that
it.
salsa.
For me at least, like when people say like, oh, like Taco Bell or In-N-Out get some of the shits, I just don't like from any restaurant. Not a lot of food. Just I don't know if I have like a strong stomach, or everyone else.
Yeah.
You just have a slow metabolism.
Or my
Exactly.
metabolism
Digest
is
slower.
pretty slow. Actually, it used to be a lot
I
faster.
think I digest pretty slow.
Yeah, that's probably why.
I had it today. In-N-Out French fries.
Bomb.
I don't
It's a
like them.
dividing topic.
Whoa!
I don't like them.
It's a love or hate it thing. I'm
duality
fine.
of man.
It really is. It's a love it or hate it food. I love it. You hate it.
Listen, I
Keep on
see
elaborate.
everything in In-N-Out.
They're, like,
I realize
fresh, like,
it's
right
all
there.
fresh. I see
It is. You see them
I
cut those
watch them
potatoes.
making it
You watch them
fresh.
make it.
They have it, and it tastes like an old fry. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. Just
It's sad. I like everything else. I want to go with the animal fries. I want to like it.
They're
It's
good.
just, it's not to me. Like,
well,
and it's weird. Like we are divided along those lines.
Do you ever see like
I do.
videos of like fast food restaurants in really ghetto areas where like someone wants a refund, they say no, so then they like rip off the register and start throwing it at the employees?
Yeah.
Like that happens a lot more than you think.
It does.
And like I feel bad because like these people they work minimum wage,
Yep.
they're doing a fry cook job, they're just trying to
Just
get
on the
by.
grind, yeah.
Yeah.
And then some Karen
Someone
or,
ruins their day.
or someone for some reason is out on a
Okay.
bad day takes it out on some minimum wage employee.
I'm gonna say there's a scale there because I've worked inside the pizza shop before.
Mhm.
I'm always the guy that makes the pizza.
Yeah.
True.
Thing is, though, is that since I'm the one making the pizza, I never get to just stand there in front of a cash register and just chill out, right? So whenever they
It's not
get,
that fun. It's overrated.
I don't know, it looks better than like being sweaty.
Grass is
inside the
greener,
pizza.
dude. It's not fun.
I feel like the Karen is the only thing that balances it out. Because you might get hit by a cup or something.
Yeah, what about crackheads or other stupid people?
I
People
have
are mad at you for no
I've had
reason.
crackheads leave shit on the floor of my store before.
So
Literal feces.
one time I was working at Domino's, and usually I was on the just making the pizzas, but today I was over at the cash register, and we'd rotate pretty much, but usually I was just on the pizzas. And this dude comes in, and he comes in on his bike, like pulls up, leaves the bike right outside the shop, comes in. He's dirty, like he doesn't look that great, but I'm not trying to like be mean. So I'm like, how you doing today, sir? All nice to him. He's like, oh, can I get a medium pizza? I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. And he's like, okay, well, this is what I want on it. This is what I want on it. I'm like, all right. Comes out to like $7 or something like that. Dumps pennies and quarters. No, not quarters. Sorry, pennies and nickels all over my table. I look at his hands, black, right, like dark black from all the stuff he's been holding, like nasty. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm doing this. So
gloves.
I count out all the money. And I'm like, yo, man, you're like 22 cents short. So in my mind, I'm like, dude, I'll just cover him. Like, I want to get this guy out.
Yeah, give him a quarter.
Like,
For fuck's sake.
Yeah, well,
That's what I do. Yeah.
So I'm about to go say I'll do that, and honestly, I didn't even have any money on me. I was gonna figure it out though, just so this would like end quicker. You know what I mean? And he's like, "Oh, okay, I'll be right back." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So he probably lives right by. You know what I mean? He gets on his bike, leaves, and I'm there for a couple more hours. My boss comes in. She's like, "Hey, why is all there this like dirty pennies and stuff inside the cash register?" She actually like talks about how gross it looks, and I'm like, I tell her the story. Dude never comes back.
Yeah, they never do.
They came back for his money?
They never
Never
do.
came in for his money. I don't know why I thought he would.
Yeah, working at 7-Eleven.
I went back for the drugs.
I've had a lot of people who like they go up and they want to buy like alcohol, or usually what it is like vape stuff like Juuls or Puff Bars.
Vaping, come on.
And then we'll get that at some point. But they and they look just around like 21, but a little younger. So I asked for their ID and like, yeah, man, to my car, I'll be right back. And then I just never
comes back.
never
exactly.
see them again.
Maybe they just left it at home.
It's
Sure.
more likely that they're just under 21. And
Wouldn't it be nice if the legal drinking age was much less?
You mean like 18, like the rest of the world?
Yes.
I think
Wow.
18's a good age.
That's
Maybe
reasonable.
even sooner. This is America. This is land of the free.
It's true. You would think that. Real quick. One time when I worked at 7-Eleven, there was a woman that came in, older woman. She wanted to buy 2 packs of cigarettes, and she put a giant freezer bag full of nickels on the counter to pay for. I said, "I'm not counting that.
You said you're not.
You were counting that."
Okay.
With the other register, and she sits there and counts it. Sure enough, she had enough. Unfortunately, so I had to dump these nickels in the register
Nice.
to sell her these cigarettes.
You know what's really funny?
Unbelievable.
This is really funny. When there's a YouTube channel I watch called Gas Station Encounters, and
That's a good
people steal from his store a lot. So
Okay.
he'll like show the camera footage. Like he'll make commentary over it, like make fun of them. Usually, and then usually when they walk out the stuff, he follows them, fills them the camera, like, "Hey, give me back my stuff." They're like, "Well, I didn't steal." What's funny at his particular store, it's like a family-run like gas station.
Okay.
They don't take EBT or anything. So he'll get a lot of people
Oh,
come up
no.
like, "Oh, do you guys do EBT?" And he's
No.
like, "Nah, we don't do that here." He's like, "All right, give me a pack of Marlboro Reds." It's like, funny how almost every time when I say no, we don't do EBT, they still have money for cigarettes.
Makes you think.
Really does.
I don't mind paying for their cigarettes. I do. I do mind paying for their cigarettes.
I remember when the KFC in our town started taking EBT.
I
There was
remember
a
that.
giant
That was
sign on the
huge.
window. Huge.
Fine, I was thinking about this the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
time.
Yeah,
Took up the whole panel of glass.
it did.
Yeah,
Couldn't see their window anymore. All you
They
saw was
accepted
EBT
EBT.
now accepted on the
Yeah.
window.
that was pretty big
So
moment.
great.
Pretty big. A big
Hilarious.
moment. Not every fast food restaurant takes EBT though, right?
No,
It's only like a few.
they don't have to. They can choose
Yeah,
if
yeah.
they want to or not.
Okay, if you're a huge franchise, you would definitely do it though.
Yeah.
It's not their fault that this is happening.
I feel like
Exactly.
the only difficulty in that is just having to go through the government in general,
You do have to deal with the feds.
which is always annoying, but like still it'd be worth it.
Yeah, you do make more money as a result.
Mhm.
So you take those as a major corporation.
Yeah.
It's funny that people like sometimes the scam is to like go into a shop and take out all your food stamps and your EBT money. That way you can just like get cash for it. You guys have heard of that scam?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
they'll charge like a 20% or something like that.
Yep.
But you get the cash for it. It seems, I don't know, like maybe that's stealing. I guess if we're already giving them the money, I don't care. But
kind of
I'm
a
just gonna
weird
give
gray
them
area.
the money. You know?
Yeah.
I think the requirements for EBT should just be more strict because I see a lot of people with it that I don't really think that they do.
I mean, that's true. I've
Just a
seen-
little more strict. Like if people can
Yeah.
afford buying packs of cigarettes,
Daily.
daily, you can
$15
probably afford
packs
to
of
feed
cigarettes.
yourself.
Exactly.
So here's my little 2 cents on it, and I don't
Okay.
think most people share this point of view, but it is that if you're taxing me so high that most of the money gets wasted in the bureaucracy, then some of the money goes to like the people down on their luck. I don't even care what they spend it on, honestly. You know what I mean? Thing is though, like you're basically taxing me so heavy that I don't get to decide who to give my money to anymore. You pick for me.
Well, you
I-
never get to pick.
I mean, I could see a hobo and be like, "Here's $20."
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So
Nothing to
basically,
do with taxes.
well, it does because
No,
the
hobo
taxes are,
tax.
the taxes are so high, and they're supposed to be helping these people.
Yeah.
That it's just like, well, I'm already being taxed heavily for it, and these guys are still down on their luck, so now I have to give them everything. You know what I mean? It'd be nice if we weren't taxed for that because we shouldn't be forced to take care of other people. It should be an option that I would do, but it shouldn't be forced. It shouldn't be a gun to my head. You must give a portion of your wages to us to help the needy.
What are you saying? Like maybe there should be an option when like paying for taxes, you can apply for like a program to where like some of your tax money goes toward like programs like EBT and welfare.
That's already what they're taxing you for, quote unquote.
I know, but like you can choose
Yeah, but you
like
don't
if
get
you
that
can be
option.
like
Yeah,
if you have the option to do that though.
that would be a little bit better. I say
But
don't.
yeah.
I say don't even do that at all, and just don't tax me for anything like that, and I'll decide who needs my money.
It doesn't work like that, unfortunately.
Because that way, I wouldn't
I wish
be
it did.
my taxes wouldn't be helping someone I've never met before. It'd be helping the homeless person I can see right there. You know, I could be like, here's $50. You know what I mean? Which is what you should do if you see a homeless person. They're actually,
Could you, though?
I think so.
Just spend it on drugs or alcohol.
Well, yeah, the thing with EBT is like EBT could like help someone or help their family like get by
Yeah.
throughout the month.
Yeah.
Or another way of looking at it is EBT could enable someone to use their money for other things like drugs,
Drugs and alcohol.
drugs and alcohol instead, since they don't have to save their money for
Addictive
food
substances.
anymore.
Yeah.
So not really black and white. I think it's a little gray.
With giving to like homeless people and stuff like that, what I've always found is I'll try and find someone and I kind of get to know them. Be like, here's some money. How you doing today? Talk to them a little bit. Try and get a feel for hear what other people have to tell me about them. See if they're actually going to go out and get drugs or what they're doing. If I give them $5 and I watch them literally go up to the cash register with the $5 and say, "Give me 5 Jack in the Box tacos," that instantly makes me want to give them more money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but if they like pocket it and walk away, or like walk in a liquor store or something like that, it's like, okay, you know what I mean? You're not the guy I'm gonna be. But it's also like, you don't know why they're homeless. You know what I mean?
No.
That could be like a Vietnam soldier. It could be anything going on. And like, who are you to say they don't get a beer? You know what I mean? So it's in the
Yeah, but do they need a beer? Sounds like they need a meal.
true.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, totally.
Delicious 4 meal at Wendy's.
Ooh.
With that $5 bill you gave them.
We talk about the Wendy's chicken biscuit.
Well,
The chicken biscuit?
Yeah,
The breakfast item?
breakfast
I was
stuff.
thinking about
Yeah.
That looks hearty.
No, they're good.
I want
Wendy's
you've had
breakfasts
that.
are good.
I want that.
We're not sponsored by Wendy's, by the way.
I found a.
But hey, Wendy's, if you're listening,
But hey,
we
I'll chill for
we
you.
can be like
We could be.
I
Big fan.
We're probably like the best fast food franchise.
Maybe ever.
We just
No.
we don't even want money. We just want the Wendy's.
Chick-fil-A.
Just give us free Wendy's.
Chick-fil-A, that's a company.
That actually do you want to talk about Chick-fil-A?
Listen,
Hey,
Talk about Chick-fil-A. It's fast food.
it's in the topic.
It's a touchy one.
Well,
Take it away.
after I used to, I've never had a Chick-fil-A sandwich, even though
You've never had Chick-fil-A?
I've never had Chick-fil-A. I've
We're
told
going
you
to
this.
Chick-fil-A tomorrow.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think I want to anymore.
Why
The owner betrayed us, man.
Oh, yeah.
They betrayed us.
You know what?
They
So-
gave money to a terrorist organization.
Here's the thing, though. You know what I heard? I heard that they said we're not going to give money to anymore to like quote unquote anti-LGBTQ like organizations, but apparently some people are investigating. It looks like they still are giving money to that. They probably just gave money to BLM just to save face a little bit.
That's a good theory. What do
Okay.
you think about that?
That's my theory at least.
That
from, like,
seems
what I
pretty
heard.
reasonable.
I mean, listen, it sounds pretty reasonable when you say it that way, but in my opinion, those are terrorists, so they're giving money to terrorists to save face.
I know, but like Zupon, when George Floyd happened and all this
Yeah.
started, every company, organization, even like marching groups that I know, they had to make a statement or they had to make a donation or something to BLM, or else the mob would
Yeah.
attack these people asking, "Where's the
It's true.
response?
It's
Well, are
true.
you donating? What are you doing about this? You should be doing about this. You have an
Yeah.
obligation to do something about this. I'm going to stop shopping from you."
What did it say? Like,
Dox you.
silence is, or not oppression. Silence is, like, opposition. Like,
I
if you
remember
stay
that.
silent about it, you disagree
Exactly.
with it.
That's what they think. If you're
That's
silent,
absurd.
then you must be like against it.
You
That's
have
why you're
to
not
have an
saying
opinion.
anything.
Listen, any other movement besides BLM, LGBTQ, or all those like ones, if you make a new movement right now, they're infinitely salty about it. Like they're not happy. You're basically like opposing them, even if you have nothing to do with them.
Fuck.
That's a bit.
Get it later.
But
But yeah.
like obviously no one should be murdered, right? Everyone knows this
Yeah.
is common knowledge.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen a single person be like, well, we should be murdered.
Well, maybe we should be murdering those blacks. Like,
Yeah, exactly. I've never seen that happen. No, yeah, I don't know anyone that would say that. I don't know anything like that at all. That's such a fringe minority.
The two KKK members that still exist might agree with that.
Yeah.
The KKK was any bigger. This is going off topic from fast food, but I'll say this: the KKK isn't even like a big, like scary organization anymore. They're literally just like small groups in the South that are just a bunch of hicks in the woods, basically burning
Yeah, they don't
across.
do anything.
Well,
They literally don't do anything.
all they do is they're like business owners, and they're like, "Well, are you gonna hire a black guy?" No. Okay, that's what they do. over there.
Ooh, edgy today, are we?
Yeah, exactly. That's what they do.
Yeah.
First of all, you shouldn't be a racist, right? You should actually just like judge someone by what they do, obviously.
Absolutely.
But at the same
Content of character.
I will slightly defend them on one issue, and that
boy.
is you should be able to hire anybody you want without any restrictions. Like if you can. I don't know.
You don't have to
I
hire
don't- I
people.
don't-
Doesn't the government
I
reward you if you hire like minorities and stuff?
I don't even,
Supposedly.
Supposedly, I'll look at
I
that.
think
But
that's
like,
the thing that happens.
well, there was affirmative action. That happened. I think they got rid of it, or it's still
you're gonna have to
happening.
look into that. I'm not sure.
But yeah, well, there was that like say like you were like usually Asians score pretty high, like on SATs, scored on all the
Yeah,
entrance exams.
Get
But
into
like even if
colleges.
they scored higher than say someone who doesn't usually their group doesn't score as high, like maybe someone who's African American or I think even Native American,
Uh-huh.
even though they didn't score as high, they'll probably get accepted instead. That happened
Yeah.
for I think they got rid of that. That's starting to be
You
get
mean,
rid
you mean
of
colleges, right? You're talking about colleges.
colleges.
right now?
Yeah, sorry, I mean colleges.
Yeah, they do that. Like, if I
Yeah.
used to apply to a college with the same grade point average as like as an Indian person, transfer students or anything like that, they would be way more likely to be
Yeah.
accepted than me.
Absolutely, because you're white.
That's racist. You know what
That
I
is
mean?
racist.
You know what's crazy? It's something that's
Spider.
thank you. It's something that's so racist that even like I've seen left groups advocate for it being removed because they think they also agree it's so racist.
Well, yeah. What people don't talk about is that Asians are the victims of racism all the time. It's like, of course you can get into any college you want because you're the smart race.
There's so much
That is
expectation.
kind
How
of
are
weird.
your SAT scores?
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, and you don't see Asians like being out there rioting and be like Asian lives matter.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give anyone any ideas.
Yeah,
Josh.
exactly. Never mind. Scratch that. Afraid I said that. Rewind.
We're gonna trademark that one. Just so let's trademark every other
We
race.
can sell
to
merch.
say-
Exactly.
We can make a profit
Asian.
we can make profit off of a movement that just wants better lives for people.
Yeah.
We'll sell
Speaking of,
T-shirts.
Speaking of trademarks, you guys heard? You know how the Redskins are changing their name?
Yes.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So the Redskins are changing their name because it's quote unquote racist. I don't know. I've heard Native American people who like that it's changing, but I've heard of some of them that think of it as like a pride thing. But either way, if you want to get in on the trademark business, what you do is you just think of any possible name they can change it to. People have been doing it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely get that trademarked.
Definitely.
I mean, my
Then they
opinion
have to
on
buy
it
it
is
off you.
like when I saw it, I just it's because I don't really care about sports, but I just didn't really care that they want to change the name.
Yeah, it's not important.
I feel like-
kind of important. It's
It
like,
is
why
important.
should I not be able to name my football team the Washington Redskins?
Oh yeah.
That's not racist. It's not saying I hate Indian people, the football team.
Yeah.
No, it's Redskins.
Yeah. It's I think it's personally I think it's more of like a pride thing. I understand that that's a racial slur though, but
Is it though?
it doesn't matter if it is. To be
Sure.
honest, you should be able to do whatever you want, say whatever you want, and only the economy should be the negative there. That should be the only thing. No one should be messing with what you do as long as you're not messing with them.
Yeah.
And if the Redskin name is a problem, then instead of the NFL coming out and condemning it, they should have just started receiving a drop in things being bought. You know what I mean? And
Well,
people
why-
complaining about it.
Yeah, but why were they even allowed to be named the Redskins in the first place? It is such a fucking problem.
Exactly.
They
Because
existed for years.
Maybe people just didn't really care as much back then.
we're in the
Isn't-
woke area where everyone needs a safety zone. You know what I
Gotta
mean?
have my safe space.
Gotta have I use safety zone because football though.
Okay.
And from what I've read, from looking at here and from what I've read elsewhere, is it's kind of a split issue among Native Americans if it's a slur. or not.
That's kind of what it's going on with.
Yeah.
A lot of them think it's hurtful, but a lot of them are like, no, that's awesome. That's like us. It's our team.
Here,
Yeah, it's Native American.
a survey of 504 people across the country found that more than 70% of those questioned said they did not consider Redskin to be a disrespectful to Native Americans. To
And
be
this is the
disrespectful.
New York Times, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's
This
the New York
is.
Times.
I didn't read.
80% said that they would not be offended if called that name by someone who's not an American Indian.
Whoa.
Wow.
So why the
Native
fuck
Americans
are we up in arms
based
about this crap?
Fuck.
Yeah.
Dude, Native Americans are based.
No, they're interesting people. They're pretty reasonable.
Here's a poll. Would any of you here be offended if someone who wasn't white called you a crack?
No.
No,
I don't
because
care
of
what
those
you call me.
words. But I would probably tell them what that name comes from. That's
Elaborate on
funny.
that.
You guys know what the name?
No.
No, actually, inform me.
All right, so cracker comes. They call people cracker because when they would get whipped, the whip makes a crack sound. So they would say you're a cracker.
Oh.
It's not like a little saltine cracker. Everyone thinks it's a little saltine cracker. It's not.
That's interesting, actually.
That's
Yeah.
kind of fun.
Yeah, so if anyone ever tried to do it to me in like a racist way, I'd be like, okay, but you know what that means, right? Like, like, yeah, exactly. But no one
Indiana
should.
Jones was a cracker.
You should not be attacking. It's true,
Let our minds be free. Talk about whatever.
Absolutely.
especially when it's not like super important stuff like Jeffrey Epstein, kids in New York being killed every day. Okay,
Why
know
don't you
what?
tell me what you told me last night about that? Just
Yeah.
get into that real quick.
It bugs me so much that I feel like I have to say something, and that is that in New York, you guys can look up the law right now if you want to know it, just so I can quote it.
Oh, not that.
Oh, what do you want? What
The
is it?
other thing. The plane thing.
The plane thing.
The plane
Oh,
thing.
The plane?
okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember what the name?
What's the plane?
Avello?
Aviloop.
Avi Loop. There we go. Okay.
AVILO.
Okay. So Jeffrey Epstein hired a Slovenian slave,
Slovakian.
slave, when she was like 9 or something like that, and he had her as a sex slave. He ended up liking her so much that he allowed her to become a pilot, and she became his pilot. And then she made this company called Aviloop. If you just look into the videos and stuff like that, It's super creepy. She's
It's
in
very
like
creepy.
she's in like skimpy outfits and stuff, and she's saying things that like have weird connotations. It kind of seems like the Epstein thing is still going on, and there's another company that they're partnering with that doesn't actually exist. Someone needs to look into this. It's very sketch. I feel like people are just scratching the surface of it right now.
Yeah,
But
it's flown under the radar. You don't see anything about this
yeah,
on the news or
flown.
anything.
Yeah.
Weird.
I feel like this is still the Jeffrey Epstein operation.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Like,
this
it's
is a woman who
Yeah.
Jeff allowed to achieve her dream goal of flying planes, but there's an ulterior motive there. I mean, her company supposedly is for pilot training
for all female pilot training.
for all females.
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
so it's got to be a front for the trafficking.
It's a
Do
front.
you think
It has to be.
Do you think this flight company is like they also do flights to like the pedophile island?
Easily.
Probably not the pedophile island anymore because it's kind of
You know,
it's like Area 51. We know.
Yeah.
I was thinking, are there like more
More islands?
more islands that we don't know about?
There's
Fuck, who knows?
everywhere, dude. But the
Who
sad
knows?
thing is, they're not even hiding it off the coast mainly. They're in like office buildings in New York and stuff. That's where it's happening.
Mhm, mhm.
You don't have to look very far.
No.
Very sad.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Steamy Podcast Episode 4.
Fucking steamy in here for sure. About to get a little steamy in here because we're going to talk about a very We're about to talk about a very touchy subject.
And no, we're not talking about Joe Biden.
No,
Unfortunate.
we'll save that for another time. When we get closer to election, we can talk more about that.
You guys caught that joke though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh,
I knew.
I'm
Cogs are turning.
here. I got some alcohol in my system.
on that one pretty fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quick draw, right out of the holster there.
We're going to talk about
Sorry,
Portland,
Joe.
Oregon.
Fastest guns in the West.
Portland, Oregon, the feds, the war going on there.
Spit it out.
It's fucking chaos down there right now.
Supposedly.
It is. Look at what you supposedly.
You ever been to Portland, Oregon?
You ever been there?
Not there with this.
I know it's there.
I've never been to Portland, Oregon.
All
I
right.
heard it used to be a beautiful city. Used to be. Kind of on fire right now.
Yeah.
Trash everywhere.
Yeah.
Fences put up in a lot of places
Yeah.
to protect federal buildings.
So do you guys know the reason that martial law hasn't been declared there? You know the reason?
Why?
The reason is this. Trump thinks that it hurts the Dems more than it hurts him. He thinks that... I don't know if you guys have seen the commercial where it's like someone's calling the police and it's like a recording message and it's like, due to lack of funding...
Oh, yeah.
Because of Joe Biden's administration, you know what I mean? He's doing all that.
Yeah.
Listen, as true as that probably is, the fact is that all the pictures he's showing of like places burning and chaos and stuff is happening in his administration.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care if the Democrats are retarded and they want to ask for help. I don't care if it would be way worse under Joe Biden. Go do your job. Go do your job. Your job is to protect America. You're letting it burn to make a point.
Well-
Like, I realize these are the Dem states. And, you
Yeah.
know, it's kind of their fault, yeah. But
they may be Democrats, but they're still like Americans.
they're still Americans.
We should still make sure that they're not dying and killing each other in the city.
Yeah.
But if martial law happens, it will make it. It might even make it worse.
Oh, it would make it better.
I mean, it might make it better. That's the thing. Like, it's one of those things where I can't say for sure I know what's going to happen until I see it happen. Because, like,
Listen, you never know for sure, but just from the little bits of when the martial law does come out, tends to help. Like, the police kind of get fucked over.
I will say,
Martial law tends to be doing, like, the feds seem to be doing a good job.
like, all right, so yeah, a lot of people I remember when I first heard about this that the feds were blackbagging and like shoving peaceful protesters into unmarked vans, hauling them away.
Air quotes there that you can't see.
Yeah, I mean air quotes. I try to be a little sarcastic with it, but like I saw people on the left saying it's like the Gestapo. The Trump has the secret police out, and I decided to look more into it. I found one video where they said this was happening. There's a video of two federal
They're
officers.
breaking in. Oh, two federal officers, never mind.
You can see their patches, their number, like
Yeah.
everything. Like, you know what department they're from, like who they are a little bit. So they're not covering it. That's another thing the news been lying about. I haven't seen at all. It's that the feds are like covering like their patches and stuff. I haven't seen that at all. I don't see proof of that at all.
Well,
They go up to two of them go up to one guy,
Wow.
and even before they approach him or they touch him, the guy already puts his hands behind his back and they carry him. They carry him in.
Yeah.
So two things wrong with that. That doesn't mean that they're like the secret police. Like he could have been rioting. We could not have seen it until the video started filming, and then they arrested him.
Yeah.
And or another theory a lot of people have been saying about this is the way he just knows to put his hands behind his back. It could be an informant extraction.
Everyone knows if you're about to be arrested, you put your hand behind your back.
Yeah, I know, but like
You do they though?
Oh boy!
A lot of these,
And here we go.
a lot of
Never
these rioters, well, usually they fight back, or in fact, something insane you'll find on like Facebook and stuff are guides people have made to try to help prevent someone from being arrested by a federal officer. Like tackle onto them, push them off, spray the gas.
That's how you get shot.
Well,
I know, but like they're trying to do this to make, and like they've been successful with this. There's videos of like federal officers trying to arrest people, and they get overcrowded by more people, so they have to back off, or else they're gonna get killed.
Well, we know for a fact that Antifa, in cooperation with Black Lives Matter, has different people out doing different roles. Some people are covering for other people. Some people are the quote-unquote medics. That's why you always hear them whining for medics. And then some of them their job is just to break things and throw fire bottles and do shit like that. And that means that this is terrorism, where they're being funded by people like George Soros. He needs to get his money seized. I don't know if you guys saw on the whitehouse.com or whatever it is, where you guys can sign a petition. And if it hits a certain amount of reviews, that stinks. I can smell that.
So are you burning?
He's burning his shoelace.
Are you fucking kidding
I'm
me?
singeing the end of it, so
That's
it'll
true.
fray.
You do have to do that.
Get over it.
Oh, that's true.
But where was I?
George Soros?
Soros.
George. Okay.
Money seized.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there was a petition. First of all, there was a petition that said declare Antifa a terrorist organization, and Trump called them a terrorist organization. Yet I have not seen the label slapped on them yet. Also, George Soros is funding them. Therefore, our government should get all that sweet, sweet Soros money. We can use that to give to the businesses that are shut down during COVID. Seems like a win-win to me.
I'll tell you something interesting that I heard from an acquaintance of mine is that in exchange for China goofing with the COVID, they should just relieve our entire debt.
Yes, I've also been saying that
Whoa.
for a long time.
That'd be huge.
That needs to happen.
Totally fair.
Yeah. And you know what?
Yeah.
I feel like if we just said we're not going to pay you, then that's the same thing, because we don't have to pay them for that anymore.
Yeah, if
Honestly,
we now no longer have debt to China
here's the
in exchange for
important
COVID, that'd be
here's the important thing to remember. When COVID happened, they locked down Wuhan, and they didn't tell the Wuhan people at all. They let it spread massively. They had that one banquet where like thousands of people ate off the same plates, but they didn't let those people travel to anywhere else in China. Just in Wuhan, they let them travel, but they also let them travel to any other country they wanted to. So they're locking down Wuhan so that they can't travel anywhere into their country, but they're letting them fly all over the place. Imagine if China had just released like nerve gas on Times Square. Like that's what they did. Like that's the same level. Our entire economy shut down. According to the who are the guys with the helmets to go in and they help places, starts with an N. Help me out here. Work with me a little bit.
What?
Yeah. The UN,
the United Nations.
United Nations.
Oh,
I just blanked out. The United Nations claims that there's going to be millions of new starvations because of COVID, on top of the 2 million that have already happened. So, because the economy shut down, we already have 2 million new starvations. They said it's going to double what it was from last year. That brings it up to a total of like 19 million new starvations.
Okay.
Because of the COVID.
It's a pretty big number.
That's a huge number.
In the U.S. or globally?
Globally, obviously.
Okay.
Probably like no one's going to starve here. But still.
That's still only 19 million. That's a pretty small amount of the U.S. population. We're at 328 million.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not going to be U.S., but still,
Yeah.
it's still like if you look at those pictures of like the African kid starving and stuff, it's still fucked up.
It's been happening forever, though.
Yeah. Well, there's way more now though because
Sure.
of China.
Yeah, because of China.
Going back a little bit to Portland, I like some like the news like I've seen from mainstream media. It's like so wrong or so fake or just like it's almost like it should be illegal at this point.
Yeah.
Because now I've seen like infighting to like I've seen like groups of like people on the right, like certain like Facebook groups and stuff now infighting over issues about feds in Portland, Oregon. Like, oh, they're black bagging people. They're it's like the secret police, it's like the Nazis all over again.
Okay.
Even though like there's been no proof of this, but these people are buying it up. And now there's like infighting with like every political group. It's almost like they do this on purpose to like distract us.
Yeah,
Who
definitely.
does that?
The media.
But who controls the media?
You tell me.
I asked you.
Me?
Yeah, who controls the media?
Who controls the media?
Who controls the media?
I don't know for sure, but like the fact that like so many of these mainstream outlets are saying the same thing, and it's all wrong. But there's like something bigger going on for sure.
Oh yeah,
there must be. I don't want to say for sure because I'm not sure. I don't have the answers to this.
You know,
I'm just saying it should be looked into.
There's two very important sayings. One of them, I believe, is an ancient Roman saying, and the saying goes that if you're ever trying to discover who rules you, simply find who you cannot critique. Okay, so audience, who out there are you not allowed to say anything negative about or a mob attacks you? I'll give you 10 seconds.
Dude, the Romans were right.
And the other one is follow the money. So who controls the mob? Who controls the media? Who's paying for all of this? That's you figure out those are the two keys to unlock the door to figure out that George Soros is right. No, I'm joking.
When you said that quote, I felt like everything in my mind clicked. Like the answers just started to open up.
Yeah.
Dude, this should be a topic. When the Romans were based.
Is that a Roman?
Oh,
It can't be that old.
Either if it's a quote from them or not.
Very old.
The Romans were right about a lot of things. They had a really good thing going.
The OG Romans, sure.
What do you mean? Yeah, well, like the Roman Empire, like when they were big. That's what I mean.
Well, okay, so was it the Holy Roman Empire first? Which one?
Yes.
Okay, the Holy Roman Empire was pretty based. After that, it was just like Caesar or something.
Yeah. Keep going. I'll just type it.
Oh yeah.
So after the Holy Roman Empire fell, it was a republic before, which was based.
Google. What the?
Well, we are on news.
I'm trying to figure out the quote.
To learn who rules over you.
Hold on.
Jim and Alfred Storm.
To learn who rules over you, simply find out who you are not allowed to criticize. This is a quote by Kevin Strom.
No, it wasn't. Look, kept reading back there. It was by a French dude, French activist.
Attributed to Strom due to Strom's 1993
The remark
essay.
is often misattributed to Voltaire, the French philosopher. Misattributed.
Phrase is most often attributed to Strom. Used against those and. So yeah, this is Kevin Strom.
I don't know if I'd buy that. Either way, it's
famous anti-Semitic.
Is American white nationalist, neo-Nazi, Holocaust denier, white separatist, and associate editor of National Vanguard.
Kevin
Strom. Wow, what a interesting man.
That's weird. I don't know.
There's a Wikipedia page for Holocaust denial.
Wikipedia page for everything, dude.
Yeah, maybe he made the quote similar. I'm not sure, but I'm almost positive that it was an ancient saying by the Romans or something like that. I'll see if I find it.
I mean,
well, it doesn't matter. We'll move on.
The point remains that is true, though. If ever you feel like you're owned, try and figure out who you can't critique.
Well, look at China right now. If you even say anything bad about Xi Jinping, you just get arrested.
It's true.
And or your social credit goes down.
You know,
Winnie the Pooh.
Bring this back to Portland, Oregon a little bit.
That's true. You say anything
I saw
about Winnie the Pooh?
Team Square. I
The
saw a side-by-side picture of the protests going on in Hong Kong,
Uh-huh.
and they're flying like American flags.
They're flying American flags.
But
They want us to help them.
So in this that's one side, and then the other side of this picture are the protests from Portland, Oregon, where they are flying like the communist like flags, like hammer and sickle.
It's so absurd.
Dude, I have an idea.
Yeah.
I have a great idea. What we
Okay.
do, we build 2 really big boats. Okay.
Okay.
And in the first boat, we load up all those protesters who don't like it here,
Okay.
and we
Put 'em in
send
Hong
them
Kong?
to Hong Kong.
Okay.
And we only need 1 boat actually, because when we do that,
You
we
just
have
bring
like
back
the
the Hong Kong people.
that boat and bring them here.
I'm sure China will totally let you do that.
I don't see why not. They want
Are
to
you
be
kidding me?
I don't see why
Listen,
not.
hold on, listen. So they currently have a problem where the people are rebelling for freedom, right? So what if
Yeah.
we just equal exchange those people who want to be free for the ones that don't? China will take them. Are you crazy? Dude, this is the art of the deal. This is what needs to happen. This is going to fix everyone's problems.
All right, go buy a boat.
Yeah, go ahead, zip on.
Have one.
You
Good
have a
luck doing
boat.
that.
Let's go do
That's true. You do have a boat.
Do I have a boat?
We had to make a couple trips, go to HK,
Yeah.
come back.
And here we go. ladies and gentlemen.
Here we go.
The
Look,
sad part is like those all parties involved would probably be okay with that.
Yeah, that's why I said it.
Yeah.
They would do it.
it's not real
At
comedy. Is
the,
it?
at the very
Maybe.
least, HK people would love to come.
Yeah, the Hong Kong people 100% would be like the boat would sink because there'd be so many people trying to
Let's
get on
fucking go.
it. Yeah, but
Yeah.
here it'd be like, well, we're actually here to destroy this country. So...
I saw a video on back when college campuses were open, where people went on these campuses and they talked about how the American flag is being used in the Hong Kong protests. What they thought about that. And I said, well, first they asked, "Are you okay with Hong Kong like protesting wanting democracy and liberation?" And all the college kids were like, "Yeah, totally, that's great, totally down. I support for that. Like, are you okay with them using the American flag as a symbol of democracy and freedom?" In the protests, like, well, I could see that as being problematic because the American flag represents colonialism and slavery and racism.
When I hear stuff like that, I just want to like grab my head and just bang it into the wall because
It's the same thing.
it's
You might as well be doing that.
like brain cells are being lost either way.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So here's the big thing about Portland, Oregon.
What is the big thing?
Just
So funny.
you pulled up that Wikipedia page.
I didn't do anything.
Go
on.
Sees it.
Go on.
Okay, you're distracting me here.
I have done nothing. I'm eating Cheez-Its.
The big issue here is the feds in general. Is people discussing if it's okay for the feds to be here to protect these federal buildings. Ladies and gentlemen, they're eating all my Cheez-Its. My Cheez-Its are gone. Is it okay? Is it okay for the government to send in these federal agents to help disperse the riots? Because here's the thing: a lot of these protests are actually peaceful, and you can watch videos. They're peaceful. It's
Right.
all chill until the
Yeah.
clock strikes midnight.
Mm-hmm.
Then you see people using fireworks as IEDs. You see people trying to break through the fences of the federal courthouse to burn it. You see people throwing Molotov cocktails, and that's when the feds are deployed.
I get it. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I'm summing up. I get it. You don't want to say it. Werewolves.
It's true.
What?
You've been hinting at werewolves.
Been hinting at it.
Wait.
Clock strikes midnight.
Wait.
You know. I know you've been beating around the bush.
Wait.
Lycanthropy.
Wait.
Werewolves.
Hold on.
There
Are
it
you
is.
saying I'm trying to imply that the feds are werewolves or the protesters are werewolves?
Maybe both.
Maybe both. Maybe it's another group. I don't know, but you're definitely talking about werewolves here.
A lot of the feds.
What do you know that we don't know about werewolves?
Yeah.
Elaborate
Elaborate on that.
In Portland, Oregon, a lot of them are actually a lot of them are border patrol agents because from the Canada side, because like nothing fucking going on over there. Oregon's on fire.
Pretty big.
Go help them. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll go.
Canada's pretty cool.
So, let me finish this cheese whip. I'll talk in a second.
Okay.
There we go.
Don't do that in my mic.
All right. So it's actually
We'll
your
cut
guys' mic. You share that mic.
That's
you know?
true. We'll cut it up.
So you asked, should the feds be there? 100%. They're burning down. I dropped the cheese on your form. Sorry. They're burning down buildings that I had to pay for with my tax dollars. We have people dying constantly. Children, 1 year old, because like a stray bullet goes into a building, into the crib. It's been happening all the time over there. That needs to stop. And also, you have to accept that maybe you want the movement to be something else, but that's not what the movement is. So your movement has been hijacked. In some sense, it was never your movement to begin with. And basically, if you want something that is actually progressive, if you want really positive change, and you don't want just more martial law, then you need to stay away from Black Lives Matter. You need to stay away from Antifa, because that's all you're going to end up with. You're going to end up with a lot of death, and I already got a whole bunch of it. And you're going to end up with, you're going to end up with a lot of death. You're going to end up with a lot of martial law. I don't want more law, and I don't want more death.
There's a really good quote by George Orwell's.
Okay.
So the new Logic album came out, and this is his last album. He ends this album with a 6-minute speech by George Orwell's, and he puts music and beats over it to make it really dramatic. And he talks about the idea of humans. It's a little blurry, but talks about like racism and all that. And he says in America, to fight these things, to fight Jim Crow, to fight true racism. People like the riot. He says, I don't see solution in riots. The best way I could see solution is by law. By using the law, using the systems we have in place to make change that you want to see. That's the system we designed for ourselves. That's how it should be done, as it's been done for centuries.
That was exactly Martin Luther King's opinion as well.
Mm-hmm.
These are all the important people. These are all the people that made real change. I hate to break it to you, Malcolm X didn't make any real change. He only made it worse.
Yeah.
Malcolm X only made it worse. The Black Panthers only made it worse. The KKK members only made it worse. These people only make it worse. Antifa, the Black Lives Matter, only make it worse.
Yeah.
The only way to do this is peaceful protest. And if the people you are protesting with, if you consider yourself Black Lives Matter, you consider yourselves Antifa, but you don't like all the violence, then you can't have your cake and eat it too. You got to pick an avenue, because right now they're violent. Their history is violent. They receive money from people who only want negative things.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty well put. I think it's pretty well put.
Yeah.
There's Portland. It's just insane to see the footage in Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a war. It's worse than any riots I've seen throughout this whole George Floyd protest. It's worse. It keeps getting worse every day. It's been 61 consecutive nights now in Oregon that this has been happening.
61.
It's only been getting worse.
2 months.
I've seen a video where someone was just driving down a street in Texas, and it was all the destruction from the rioting there. And it was like blocks of just burned rubble. It looks like this was a war zone, like an Afghani war zone kicked off right here in our own backyard. And that's because that's what's happening. That's what it is.
Kind of insane.
Yeah, here we are.
I saw a video of in Oregon, some lady was trying to drive on the streets, reasonable, trying to drive on the roads, and that night protesters had a strategy to block off roads. And one of the women that tweeted the video of this incident happening was like, "This should only be a minor inconvenience to this white neighborhood." Totally not racist at all.
Wow.
And the woman she's driving, and there's people surrounding her, "Oh, turn around." The woman panics, and she in the tweet, the woman's like, "Oh," and she stepped on the gas. You watch the video, she lightly bumps the gas forward, just trying to get the protesters off.
Yeah.
But she tried to run us over. It's first off, she drove as slow as possible, and she probably panicked because there's people knocking and banging and yelling on her windows. There's an angry mob around your car. What are you gonna do? Just sit there? Open your door? Hello there, sir.
Yes, please.
I see videos where they drive really slow, and then sometimes I'd say about 5 or 6 of these drivers now have been shot. They've just been driving really slow, and someone's pulled out a fully automatic weapon or a handgun, just blasted every car. It's happened. It's happened a lot. So personally, I'm just gonna say, don't get in front of my car. because, like, I'm not gonna get shot.
Just don't get in front of people's cars.
Yeah, seriously.
And after this ordeal, the cops like stopped the woman in the car, and they interviewed her and like these peaceful protesters that were around her car. Like, you gotta arrest this woman. She tried running us over, and the cops let her go. And I find this really funny that the protesters asked the cops for help when they want someone arrested.
Yeah.
Huh.
Funny.
Isn't that the same group that wants to defund the police?
Insane, right?
You know what the cops should just start doing the big brain thing. Like, okay, yeah, we'll sort this all out. Why don't you guys come down with us to the station? We'll get this all figured out. Yeah, hop in the back.
Come on,
we'll get this all figured out.
You know, I do like all these YouTube channels, like the YouTube channel Woke. It's just called like Woke, and they've been uploading videos of when the protests are peaceful, and then live streams of when they get violent. And the feds are definitely looking at these and gathering information for who to arrest. So I applaud these YouTube channels for uploading all this so that they can get information.
I think the FBI put out a like digital warrant for people's like information on people they wanted to arrest that had been filmed on like protests. They have like photos. They're like, you know, this person or information about them, we will have cash reward for.
You know who should be on the case?
Awesome. Who?
/poll from 4chan.
They do figure out everything, but
I haven't done anything lately.
They haven't done anything
They've
lately.
been lazy and divided recently.
I feel like they've been corrupted. It's over for them.
It's been over.
Oh yeah. This all goes back to the fappening.
Yeah,
it does. It does though.
It does.
I've always wanted, if I could make Poll my private army for just one thing, I would want them to figure out Kim Jong-un's Steam ID. Remember?
His Steam ID?
Have you guys seen the map? There's a map of all the Steam users in the globe.
Oh,
there's one dot on the Korean capital. It has to be him.
What do you think he plays?
Probably Counter-Strike.
Have you guys seen Counter-Strike Go in Japan? A little off topic, but when you play Counter-Strike Go in Japan, whenever you kill someone, they don't die. They just like get on their knees and surrender.
Really?
Yeah. Oh,
that's interesting.
They're like, oh, I'm sorry, and they like put their hands behind their head, and then they surrender.
And then you
when you
shoot
kill
them more.
No, they just
probably
sit there.
doesn't let you shoot them more. Honestly, the gun probably won't do it.
See, Valve knows who they're working with.
You typed China, not Japan.
Yeah, you did type China, not Japan.
Sorry, I meant Japan. I meant China.
Okay.
Sorry, did I say Japan?
You said Japan.
No. In China, this happens in China. They can't have like people shooting and killing each other in a game in China. That might encourage the Chinese people to overthrow the government.
So what do they think they're doing with those sticks? If they're arresting people with rubber bullets, like what's the deal?
What is the deal?
Stun guns.
What do you mean?
Like, okay, so the Chinese person, obviously, who's playing the game, realizes that they're shooting with a gun.
Yeah, I get the video pulled up. I'll send it to you. You can put this in the podcast if you want. That's what it is.
Wow.
Dude. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Isn't that insane?
I can't believe that.
Forget about shooting people. I hate
That's
game
right,
developers
Chinese kids.
pandering to...
That's right, Chinese kids. You shoot somebody, they just surrender. They just give up.
Now go make your government surrender.
Yeah, go make your government surrender.
God, if only.
It'll be a peaceful protest.
Yeah, dude.
Unlike some protests.
Peaceful protests.
Yeah.
Remember when peaceful protests were a thing?
Nope.
Like, people could just peacefully protest what they want to see changing.
Well,
Try to get their voice out.
You can't do that anymore because if you're protesting anything besides Black Lives Matter,
you're
and
racist.
you're against Black Lives Matter.
Do these people understand that there's other issues going on in the world and like people want to see justice for other? Hey, what about child trafficking?
Oh no, you don't care about that. That's
What
not
about,
a race issue.
What about the
I think
literal
it's a bigger
slavery
issue.
that still goes on in the world? What about the actual slavery that's
actual
still
literal
happening?
slavery?
Yes, America had
Look
slaves.
at-
It was
can-
very shitty,
Can
and
you
we
look
got
up
rid of
where
it.
is their actual
There's-
slavery? Can
And
you
there's
look that
still
up?
actual slavery everywhere, and they don't touch on it.
I want to know. I think there's slavery in Africa still. Hello?
Hold on.
All right, we got the word slavery.
Whoa.
Slavery in Africa came up right away.
Slavery. Plantation slavery also occurred primarily on the eastern coast of Africa and parts of West Africa.
Where is there still slavery?
Yes.
Where is there still slavery in the world? So he did. Where is S? Where is there slavery in 2019? Click that.
Up here? Oh, wait. No, this thing.
10
countries. China.
What?
Whoa! China, the Congo, India,
1 in
Indonesia,
200
Iran,
people is a slave.
Nigeria, North Korea.
That's right,
This
ladies
is
and
huge.
gentlemen. 1 in 200 people is a slave. Can we go back to that list of the countries there?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So what do we got? We've got
China,
Congo, India, Indonesia, Iran, Nigeria,
that's in Africa.
North Korea, Pakistan, the Philippines, and Russia.
What, Russia.
Russia's still a slave. I didn't know that.
comprise 60% of all people living in modern slavery, as well as more than half the world's population, according to the Global Slavery
Wait a
Index.
minute. Those 10 countries, those 10 countries are only 60%.
Wow.
So 1 in 200 people is a slave right now, and you are caring about what happened 500 years ago.
Yeah, don't worry. Black people are oppressed in America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of it.
Dude, North Korea.
God damn.
Okay, so per 1,000 people, 104 of them are slaves in North Korea.
That's 11% almost.
Yeah. 93% of them in, I don't know where that is.
No, I think this is a
Eritrea?
number of victims per 1,000 population. For every 1,000 people
That's
in
what we
North
said.
Korea, 100 of them are slaves. Yeah.
Yeah, so 11%, 9%, 4%, 20%.
Central African Republican, 22.3.
Huh.
So yeah, right now, slavery is still, I would consider it rampant in the world.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know.
Why are there so many slaves today? Slavery is a big business. Globally, slavery generates as much as 150 billion in profits every year, more than 1/3 of which is generated in developed countries, including the EU.
EU.
Whoa.
Come on.
How
They're
How-
still doing it, ladies and gentlemen.
the EU? And we're caring about slavery that happened 200 years ago?
European
When there's actual slavery going on now?
Wow. Imagine that.
What the fuck?
I would like to
Wow.
ask rando people who are Black Lives Matter supporters where there is still slavery and what percentage of the population think is still a slave. I think if we phrase it right, they'll say that there's no slavery on Earth right now.
This is I might just read this whole article. This looks really good. Will slavery ever end?
No.
Probably not. Sad reality.
It is sad. Every country can't be America.
No?
I'm gonna bookmark this.
Pretty soon America can't be a country.
Sad.
Yeah.
America, as we know, it could end if we don't do anything.
I give it a
12
50-50 chance.
12 years.
Like 12 years?
What happened in 12 years?
It happens. The Salsa Party.
What makes you say 12 years from now?
I don't know. That's the number I've heard people throwing around a bit. It's like,
All right.
it could be less. It heavily depends on who wins the election this year. That's going to depend on how close we are to it.
Okay, Noah, here, I have some questions for you. Do you want the salsa party to happen?
Like, I think most
Don't
people...
romanticize the salsa party either. Like, you have to understand what's going to be. We're going to go back to Civil War, like neighbor killing neighbor.
I don't think anyone wants it to happen,
Okay.
but if it has to happen, it has to happen.
Okay, so if you had the choice, you do not want the salsa party to happen.
If there's other means, yes,
Yeah.
I do not want the Salsa Party to happen. It would mean a lot of dead people.
Yeah.
It could possibly even destroy this country.
Well, see, right now, I think with the Maxwell thing, with all the huge things that have been happening lately, I think we're coming back. I think we're coming back big. And I think that they are now the ones pushing, the globalists are pushing for the salsa party because it's the last ditch effort. Like, we've beat them on the political scale, except they still have their mass armies. They still, the armies of the globalists, the Black Lives Matter, anti, all those people. And, we need to just keep fighting with democracy. That's the best chance we have.
Yeah.
The Salsa Party is always just a last resort.
Yeah.
It's an absolute last resort. I don't think it will happen.
Cultural appropriation.
What?
Just appropriating Hispanic culture. Salsa party.
It's true.
I heard a Mexican call it that, so you know what?
Mexico's cool. I like Mexico.
Mexico's cool.
It is.
People
cool.
think the entirety of Mexico is Tijuana.
It's
No,
not.
It's
No.
not.
you just gotta fly
Great
past that part.
Let's go past Tijuana.
You can attempt to drive past it.
Yeah.
If the cartel doesn't stop you for carjacking.
You could, but also
Quite a bit.
flights are pretty cheap right now with COVID.
Flights are
Might as well
cheap,
just
That
fly
is
it.
true.
Go down to Guadalajara.
Yeah.
Puerto Vallarta. Mexico City.
I would go down to Mexico right now, but probably do the fly method.
So
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to drive through Mexico right now.
No.
I think
Especially since you can't have a gun. Like if I could at least have a gun next to me, say,
You
okay,
can't.
well, you know.
can't do it. A lot
Can't
safer
do
with a gun. Yeah. In fact, when you're driving to the border, you'll see like signs like almost every mile reminding you we cannot bring guns across the border because because people think you can just bring your trusty
Yeah, I'm an American.
Glock
I can bring
19,
my Glock
AR-15,
Yeah.
I'm an
assault
American.
rifle
Bring the
15.
Bring the gat. Bring the strap. Not in Mexico.
Like I'll just end it here. My closing statement on this is, if Trump doesn't win, then I'm gonna be scared. But with everything going on recently, I'm gonna place my money on Trump winning. And I think we're safe for a bit longer, and I think things could get better. I think we're heading in that direction.
I think
I'm a bit
positivity
more
is the
hopeful.
way. You just gotta
Hopeful about it.
Just gotta keep hoping and pay attention to what's going on. Because if you don't take the red pill, you take the blue pill. Use Matrix analogy there. If you ignore the red pill, if you ignore the choice, you've made your choice.
Unfortunate.
What are your thoughts, Josh? Are we on this?
I think we live in the Matrix. None of this matters.
Hey,
Unplug me, please.
we'll bring this up another one, but Gabe is gonna make the Matrix.
Yeah, he
Gaben
is.
from Valve.
What?
Gaben from Valve.
Gabe Newell,
Gabe Newell.
the fat, sweaty man who invented Steam.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
He's working on brain interfacing.
Yeah.
That's the next step for VR, is where you can feel
Control it with your
games.
mind.
We were talking about that on the unreleased episode, where you can feel games and stuff. And he said, and I quote, "The Matrix is closer than you think."
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the trailer take. Thanks for joining us.
Don't forget to play the end. Goddamn. God.